What's poppin', everybody? This is ICJ and Terry Bang Entertainment, Fig, The Mix, all those great things. This is another ICJ's moment of reflection. I want to talk a little bit about hard work and no play makes J-Dub a boring boy. That didn't even make any sense. But anyway, yeah, I want to talk about hard work and hard guilt. The reason why I want to bring this up is because I think a lot of us are burning ourselves out by working way too many hours than we need to, and not taking time to reset, relax, or reflect. And that really destroys momentum, and it causes pain and guilt. I think what we see people, in Silicon Valley, we see people hustling and working really hard, and drinking tons of coffee and caffeinating themselves and staying up all hours of the day, but really they're only working a finite amount of time, and the rest is just non-productive work. So the best thinkers that I've met are able to work very productive hours, spend time focusing, and then move on to some R&R, some relaxed time, chill, play a video game, and then get back to it. I know at times you just have to grind it out. You have to work really hard. There's certain deadlines that you have to meet. There's administration things that you have to do, especially when you're just starting, you're a startup, or you're just grinding, or you're working a 9-to-5, and you're doing a second kind of business venture at the same time. So it's definitely understandable, but there's times when you can just overexert yourself, and then it becomes non-productive. And I've gotten to these spirals where I am just like beating myself to death. Working crazy hours, 13, 14 hours. And I'm not bragging about that at all. It's just, it's not always healthy. Sometimes it is, because I can go on these sprints. But when it's not, what happens to me is I will feel guilty for, taking an hour a day, or 2 hours a day, chilling with a lady, or playing a game or watching a movie, and then I will wake up in the middle of the night and feel like I have to hurry up and do something because I took that time off. And what ends up happening there, after, when I do that too much and I overexert myself for like too many days in a row, is I get sick, and my body forces myself to chill out. And then that's not productive, because what ends up happening there is then I have to take off more time than intended, instead of just taking that time when I really needed it to relax. Other times the compensation comes in from drinking. Maybe I will take a few drinks to chill myself out over a few days. And I'm not saying like get inebriated till blackout, but I'm saying that I'm kind of subconsciously forcing myself to stop through substance. Same thing with marijuana, and I think that's the extent that it goes for me. But a lot of people have it even worse. Some people do other things that are a little more risky in order to force themselves to take those breaks, and they don't really understand, and then they start feeling guilty about that too. Or sometimes overeating comes into play, and then what happens when you overeat? Your stomach doesn't feel good, so it forces you to stop and chill, so your brain can focus on something else instead of your work, right? That's really stressing you out. So it's really important that I've found, especially during stressful times, to take that time, especially when you're at your most stressed, not when you're at your most focused. When you're at your most focused and it feels like everything is flowing freely and you're getting a lot of things done and things are moving and getting pushed into place, I don't think that you should just stop everything you're doing there. No, that's good momentum. But when you reach a point where it's like, it feels like the world is caving in on you, too many things are happening, it's time to take a moment, chill out, relax, reflect, read a good book that's not related, hang out with your lady, hang out with your man, hang out with your family, and just let everything, let all of the the negative feelings, fear and stress disperse, and then you will be able to think in a more clear fashion, get back to it, and then you'll be more productive. I'm trying to think of some more anecdotes relating to this. Can't think of any now. Maybe I'll think of some later. Let me think. Yeah, I'll tell you now, I used to have like really bad anxiety, and sometimes the anxiety comes back. And what would happen was, this was in college and even in high school, I would really I was obsessed at being a perfectionist. I had to do my best. I had to get, A's on everything. And I care, at that point I was caring about whatever other people thought about what I was doing and those type of things. And so it would get to a point where I would have an anxiety attack. And when I did have an anxiety attack, that actually was forcing me to focus on my health and myself and just relax. And through that, I learned, how to get through meditation and read books on Buddhism and mindfulness and those type of things. So it helped me cope later on, and so I didn't have that stress and anxiety. But it would happen frequently during that time when it was tumultuous. And yeah, it would get so chaotic, and my brain would get so full of stress that it would just explode into me worrying about the future so much that I would hyperventilate, and then I would get like a panic attack. Since then, I haven't really had that so much, but things do get stressful and I do wake up. But I understand now how to cope with it and what exactly is happening. So I think it's besides taking the breaks, understand when it is time for your body to rest, or it's time for your mind to rest, and for you to chill, relax, and not beat yourself up over it. Because I think those are the two things. All of the stress and the fear around failure and not doing things right and becoming overwhelmed, and then the guilt for not getting as much stuff done. So that's where a reality check needs to happen on what you can actually focus on, get done, take a break, and then come back to it. And then also there, your mind will subconsciously think about solutions, and when you get back to it, it'll be a lot more easier, or a lot easier. That's pretty much it. ICJ's moments of reflection. Yes, working really hard on Jay and Silent Bob, working with some developers, with Fig. Got golf ? aka Golf for Work Groups came out last week on Early Access. Check that out. Alex Austin, mad props, and everybody have a great day.